first off, bonjour and merci beaucoup for that. But there's a lot of emotions right now. I have a lot of family in Montreal and the Quebec area, so it's super emotional for me to see myself on that pick there and just share that with my family. It's pretty special.
You have a lot of family in Montreal?
I do.
Oh yeah?
So my aunt went to McGill. She worked for Air Canada up there, and then I got aunts, uncles, grandparents-in-laws, all that live in Quebec City and in Montreal. So it's pretty cool how everything kind of comes full circle.
So you know about the reality of Montreal, and it won't be your first time there?
No, it's not my first time. I wasn't in Montreal specifically, but I played in the PV Quebec tournament. I've been up in the area. I stayed there for 10 to 12 days, but played plenty of hockey games in Montreal for different tournaments. So it's a big hockey town, and with pressure comes pride, and I want to be a part of that.
Were you surprised to be picked at that spot?
I think you go in with an open mind. Once you see different goalies going off the board, you think any pick could be you. Just different teams have different needs, and to go to the Montreal Canadiens, I don't think I can rate the script any better.
Had they shown interest in you before?
They had. I talked to them a few days ago just on the phone about different teams I'd met with and stuff like that, but I had a good interview with the Combine with them, and I thought maybe that played a good part in this.
What can you describe yourself?
I play a pretty simple game. I'm not a guy that over moves or is laying on his back, flopping around. I like to be on my feet, and I think my game's nothing sexy. I just stop the puck.
Who would you compare yourself to?
I think I play like Cam Talbot, Jake Ottinger, and Craig Anderson. Kind of those three guys.
It's a good mix.
They're not anything stylistically special. They stop the puck.
What do you feel are the main two?
Obviously going to Boston College, it's a special school, and we're going to have a special group of guys there. So I think for me, it's just getting more mature. I'm only 18 years old. There's not too many 18-year-old boys in the NHL, especially in so overcook myself a little bit in college and get ready to have a nice NHL career.
So just more in the background in Montreal, where does that, what's the origins of that? How does that work?
So it kind of goes back to my grandfather remarried a French-Canadian woman from Montreal, and my dad spent a bunch of time up there skiing and snowboarding, and for him, he spent months and months at a time up there. He practically lived there for a year, and he learned a little bit of French. I'm still trying to work on mine, but definitely gonna have some more pressure to learn it now.
I would think so, yeah.
What was your feeling when you met with the Canadians and the feedback you got from them during the interviews?
I think I come off as a confident guy, which I am. I don't consider myself cocky by any means, but I know my game, I know myself as a person, and I think what I bring to the table is something that was an interest to them, and I think it's going to be a really good thing for both parties. I want to be a Montreal Canadian, and I want to win a Stanley Cup for them.
Areas of focus in terms of scouts?
I want to get faster. I think every level of the game just gets that much quicker. The NHL is so fast now that if you're even a little bit later, it's not set for half a second. Guys can shoot the puck so fast and in the perfect spot that if you're not ready for it, it's going to go in quite a bit if you're not fit enough and quick enough to get there.
The old cliche is that being a goaltender might be a tougher job in the NHL. Might be a challenge. I think you're looking for the future.
I want it to be. I think as a competitor, I don't want it to be easy. I think I want the bright lights. I want the big stage, and I said earlier, I think pressure's a privilege. So the more pressure it is, I think it just means that we're just going to have to perform our best.
You said overcook in college. Goalies take losses. You hope to spend your 4 years in DC.
I don't think there's ever a perfect plan. Every prospect's different, so I could have the 2 best years of my hockey career and still mentally and physically may not be ready for the NHL yet. So I think it's up to myself and to the organization, because you don't want a goalie to come in and get thrown into the fire and fail and have this whole process kind of go to waste. So I think if you're undercooked, it's never going to be a good result for either the team or for myself in my career.
Getting a degree important to you?
Say that again?
Is getting a degree important to you at all?
100%. Obviously, both my parents are lawyers. They want me to get a good education, so I think that's a big reason why I picked Boston College, with how prestigious of a school it is academically, with obviously how strong their history is in hockey as well. So the school will always be there, the hockey won't. So I think you're going to pursue your hockey, and you can always take classes during the year or in the summers, and just enjoy it that way.
So will you study law too?
I personally don't think I'll be a lawyer. I think that'd be a lot longer than maybe the degree that most of the guys are going in for. But But I think the law is super interesting, and there's a long time when there's life after hockey, so you never know. I'm going to be a communications major, maybe in the sports management, stuff like that. Just I want to do something useful. I don't want to just be a guy that goes for hockey. Obviously, you're going to be an NHL hockey player, develop to get to the next level, but you still want to develop into a young man as well.
What might be your weakness?
Tu vas te déplacer avec Steph Leroux juste à côté, à ta gauche.
I want to get quicker. Like I said, playing at Boston College, you're playing these high-end schools on a daily basis. There's no nights off. College hockey's a war every single night, and I think for me, it's if I can get a little bit quicker, I think it'll make it less of an adjustment and more just it's just a new destination. I work with Matt Cato.
Hey, Jacob, what's it been like sharing this with your Youngstown teammates? You see all the four of them getting drafted so far. Do you?
It's unbelievable. I think anytime you win a championship, you're just bonded with those guys forever, and that's something nobody can ever take away from us. So whenever I see those guys, it's something that we'll have our rings, we'll have the hats, the memorabilia. We'll always have each other, and to see those guys have their names called as well and accomplish their dreams, it's unbelievable.
Jacob, you grew up in Melbourne, Florida, is that correct?
That is correct.
How did you get into hockey growing up in Florida?
So my dad got into the men's league really late, in his late 30s, and for my earliest memory of anything in life was rolling around the floor at the rink, and I got a pair of plastic Fisher-Price skates, and I was just stomping around the house. I had a stick probably 3 feet too tall for me, but I just loved hitting things, and I fell in love with the game at such an early age.